Welcome to Deep Dive by the Quiet Footnote. Ever felt like you're just stuck, in mental rut, trying the same old approach to a problem and just nothing new comes up?
Well, today on the Deep Dive, we're unpacking a really brilliant toolkit that can help you break free. It's Edward de Bono's Lateral Thinking.
Hmm.
And it feels less like a traditional book, honestly, and more like, well, an invitation. An invitation to rewrite how you think.
Yeah, absolutely. And our mission today for this deep dive is pretty clear. We want to unpack what de Bono really meant, explore why his ideas feel even more relevant now,
Hmm.
in our crazy, fast, AI-driven world, and most importantly, show you practical ways you can actually use these principles. Find those little mental escape artist skills for yourself.
Okay, so let's dive in. De Bono's core idea. It's easy to get it wrong, isn't it? People think he's anti-logic or something. But that's not really it, is it? What's the actual problem he was trying to crack with lateral thinking? Exactly. He wasn't anti-logic at all. He was fiercely anti-stuck.
Yeah.
That's the key. His work is, well, it's kind of a gentle revolt. A revolt against what he called the tyranny of logic.
Right. That kind of thinking that just marches straight ahead.
And totally misses the side doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The unexpected turns your mind could take. He's not saying logic is bad.
Mhm.
Not at all. Just that it can become a bit of a cage if it's the only tool you use.
So if logic is like digging the same hole deeper and deeper,
Yeah.
lateral thinking is like suddenly deciding to dig a completely different hole somewhere else. It's not about proving you're right. It's about trying something different to find maybe new gold.
Precisely. It's a deliberate act.
Yeah.
You're consciously sidestepping those well-worn ruts of what he called vertical logic.
Vertical logic. Okay.
Yeah. Lateral thinking is all about finding different angles, generating movement is the word he uses, movement in your thoughts rather than just judging them right or wrong. And he suggests using randomness, even provocations to kind of shake things up, disrupt the brain's autopilot, break free from those familiar patterns.
And the problem he's tackling, it's so sly, sneaky even. Because most of us, we are trained practically from birth to think in straight lines, logical, step by step.
Judgment-based, yeah.
Totally. We get obsessed with being right. And often that's at the expense of being original or, innovative. That relentless logic march, it can actually blind us to new possibilities. It blocks innovation, locks us into solving yesterday's problems, not today's messier ones.
He has this brilliant metaphor for it. He says, the mind is a pattern-making system,
But those patterns can become cages. Yeah, I remember that. It's powerful.
isn't it? So lateral thinking becomes this art of jailbreaking yourself from your own mental habits. And the deeper message, the one maybe not everyone hears, is just profound. It's like he's saying, you are so much more free and way more creative than you probably dare to believe. The biggest prison, it's your own patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And the key, well, it's always right there in your pocket, is this quiet invitation to take back control of your own mind. A gentle rebellion.
Okay, so if it's a rebellion, how does he arm us for it? Because this isn't just fuzzy theory, right? De Bono gives us actual practical tools.
Oh, absolutely. Actionable tools. He kicks off the book by really hammering home the limits of that vertical straight line thinking.
Yeah.
And then he pivots to how lateral thinking isn't just about polishing your existing patterns, it's about totally restructuring them.
Restructuring, not just improving.
Exactly. He puts it really well. Lateral thinking is concerned not with playing with the existing pieces, but with seeking to change those very pieces. It's like inventing a whole new game board.
That's such a crucial difference. And why does it matter so much? Well, because the big breakthroughs, they rarely come from just following the map, do they? I mean, think about Post-it notes. That was technically a failure, right? An adhesive that wasn't sticky enough.
Right, a failed experiment.
But someone took a lateral leap, saw it differently, and bam, revolutionary product. Real innovation often comes from those leaps, not just climbing the ladder one step at a time.
Absolutely. And de Bono gives us this fantastic toolkit, these core mechanisms to actually make those leaps. A blueprint for the sideways dance.
He does. Okay, first one. Challenge assumptions. Just asking, why? Why does it have to be this way? What if it wasn't? Simple but powerful.
So simple, yeah.
Then there's random entry. This one's fun. You literally throw in something absurd, like a random word from the dictionary, and try to connect it back to your problem.
It sounds kind of nuts, doesn't it? But it works. De Bono says one way to prompt lateral thinking is to introduce a random element, a word, an object, even a noise. I actually tried this once. Stuck on a work thing, picked the word banana off my shopping list. Sounds silly, I know.
Banana. Okay.
But it forced my brain down pathways it just wouldn't have found otherwise. And that often leads to the next technique, alternatives. forcing yourself to find not just one answer, but lots of different answers.
And maybe my favorite, because it feels a bit mischievous, is provocation, or Poe, as he calls it.
Ah, Poe.
You make a deliberately wild, maybe even outrageous statement, like, Poe, meetings should be held underwater. And then you see where that absurdity takes your thinking.
Right. And de Bono stresses, a provocation may sound silly, but it is the stepping stone to new ideas. It's not about whether the provocation is true or possible, it's about the movement it creates. He also mentions others quickly, like reversal flipping the problem, fractionation breaking it down, escape removing a core constraint. They're all designed to just disrupt your normal flow.
It's amazing how widely you can use these. Business strategy, sure, but also personal dilemmas, writer's block, even like diplomatic stalemates. You can imagine negotiators using random entry to break a deadlock.
Definitely. But using them effectively. It takes a certain mindset, doesn't it?
It really does. Curiosity, maybe humility, a willingness to play.
Exactly. And that mindset piece is crucial because de Bono spends a lot of time taking aim at these really ingrained myths we have about creativity and problem solving, things most of us just grew up believing.
Okay, like what myths does he bust?
Well, the big one first. Creativity is an inborn gift. You know, that some people are just creative types and others aren't.
Yeah, you hear that all the time.
He completely debunks it. He insists creativity is a trainable skill. It's not some rare gene, not a lightning bolt from the sky. He puts it bluntly. Lateral thinking is not a talent, but a matter of method. Anyone can learn it.
That's so empowering, really. It puts innovation within everyone's reach. Okay, what else?
Well, linked to the logic isn't everything idea, he tackles the myth that logic is always best.
Right. Because sometimes logic just digs you deeper into the rut you're already in.
Precisely, he warns. Vertical thinking will only get you as far as the groove you're already in. So you need to know when to switch modes.
Which leads to another myth, I bet, being afraid of mistakes.
You got it. The idea that mistakes and silly ideas are a waste of time. De Bono argues the exact opposite. He says, the usefulness of a provocation lies not in its truth, but in its ability to move thinking forward. Mistakes aren't failures. They're just detours, potentially really valuable detours to discovery.
So if you're only focused on being right, you might miss the really interesting stuff that comes from being wrong initially.
Exactly, which ties into the next myth. One right answer is the goal. De Bono completely rejects that. He's all about generating many alternatives. His thinking is clear. The first idea is seldom the best. Quantity breeds quality. You need a wide pool to find the gems.
That makes sense. Get lots of ideas out, then filter. What else?
He also challenges serious problems require serious thinking. De Bono would say, actually, sometimes playfulness, absurdity, even a bit of fun can unlock stubborn problems way faster than just grim determination.
I like that. Less furrowed brows, more playful poking.
Kind of. And linked to that, he dismantles the idea that randomness has no place in serious work. He shows how deliberate randomness is actually a vital tool for escaping those mental patterns.
And finally, he takes a shot at education, doesn't he?
He does. The myth that education is about memorization. He really critiqued traditional schooling, arguing we should be teaching kids how to think creatively, how to use tools like lateral thinking, not just what facts to remember. It's still a pretty radical idea, even now.
Wow. Okay, so busting all those myths, it really clears the way. And it brings us to why this book, Lateral Thinking, feels almost urgent today. More urgent, maybe, than when he wrote it.
It really does feel prophetic, doesn't it? The sheer speed of change today means old solutions, old ways of thinking based purely on past logic. They become obsolete incredibly fast. Like de Bono said, by the time you dig your hole deep enough, the gold may have moved elsewhere. We just can't afford to get stuck digging in the wrong place anymore.
And yet, despite everyone talking about innovation, we still see this creativity deficit, almost. You still see education systems, corporate cultures that primarily reward the right answer and kind of punish mistakes.
Which actively hinders the very innovation they say they want. We need more of those rebels de Bono was trying to cultivate, people willing to think differently.
And this is where the whole AI thing comes in, right? This feels crucial.
Absolutely crucial. Because AI and automation, they're getting incredibly good at vertical thinking, the logical, pattern-based, step-by-step processing. That's becoming cheap, ubiquitous. It's what machines do best.
So what's left for us humans?
The lateral leaps, the unique connections, the creative combinations, the ability to jump tracks completely. That's the uniquely human contribution. As the de Bono might have put it, a computer can dig, but only a human can suddenly dance sideways. That's where our value increasingly lies.
Dance sideways. I like that. It also seems relevant to how polarized everything feels. Politics, workplaces.
Mm,
People get so stuck in their positions.
totally. Entrenched thinking just breeds division and stalemate. Lateral thinking offers tools for kind of unjamming that gridlock, finding completely different angles that maybe bypass the conflict altogether.
So if de Bono were updating his work for, say, 2025, what specific new challenges do you think he'd apply these techniques to? Technology, maybe?
Oh, definitely. He'd be all over things like escaping algorithmic loops, how recommendation engines can narrow our perspectives. He'd talk about lateral simplicity as an antidote to information overload, using constraints purposefully.
Purposeful ignorance.
Yeah, yeah. And he'd absolutely dive into human versus machine creativity. How do we brainstorm with AI, leveraging its power, but also knowing when to make that purely human, unpredictable leap?
Okay, beyond tech, what about our social world? The polarization we mentioned.
For sure. He'd likely talk about debiasing and using lateral thinking as a form of empathy to understand, not necessarily agree with, but understand different viewpoints to find common ground or new ways forward, dissolving echo chambers.
Lateral empathy. I like that.
He'd also champion radical curiosity, especially now, questioning not just what's true, but why we believe it in this age of deep fakes and constant information churn. And going back to education, he'd be banging the drum even louder for rewiring schools for the AI age, focusing on ambiguity, collaboration, playful mistake-making, the skills machines can't easily replicate.
It all feels so relevant. Okay, let's try and boil this down. If you had to pick the top 5 key takeaways from de Bono, the absolute core insights he wants us to walk away with, what would they be?
Okay, top 5. First, creativity is trainable. It's a skill. You can practice it, get better at it. It's not magic.
Right. Number 1, skill, not gift. Got it.
Second, logic has limits. It's
Yep.
essential, but it won't find you the really new stuff. Lateral thinking finds the impossible.
2, logic good but limited. Need sideways thinking for breakthroughs. Okay.
Third, quantity breeds quality. Generate lots of ideas, even weird ones. Don't stop at the first good one. The breakthroughs often hide in the bad ideas.
3, more ideas are better. Don't censor early. Embrace the weird.
Fourth, mistakes and randomness are your friends. They're tools, catalysts, not things to be avoided, but embraced as part of the process.
4, mistakes and randomness, useful tools. Love it.
And fifth, maybe the biggest one, change your perspective, change your world. Learning to escape your own mental patterns is the absolute key to finding fresh solutions, but also maybe more joy and meaning.
5, escape your patterns, change your world. Powerful stuff. So if I had to nail lateral thinking in just one sharp sentence, how about this? Lateral thinking is a manual for escaping the ruts of logic and habit, teaching you to dance sideways through problems so you can discover possibilities no straight path will ever reveal.
That's great. Really captures it. And you got to include his classic line, you can't dig a new hole by digging the old one deeper. It just sticks.
It really does. And the beauty here is that this isn't just for CEOs or inventors. It's for everyday life, right? It's that spirit of just asking, hang on, why am I stuck here? When you feel trapped in a routine? Or what if I did the total opposite when a creative project hits a wall? It's about finding mental freedom.
Exactly. So maybe a practical encouragement for everyone listening. When you feel blocked this week, deliberately try doing something wrong, just to see what kind of right emerges from it. Or instead of asking, how can I solve this? Flip it. Ask, how could I make this worse? Sometimes the absurdity leads you right back to a solution you'd have missed. It's the unexpected plot twist in your own thinking.
It really feels like a blueprint for staying curious throughout life. It's less a set of rigid rules and more an attitude, an orientation towards possibility, towards play. And that fosters resilience, doesn't it? Wonder, delight. De Bono really challenges that need to always get things right. He affirms that, yeah, most cages are mental, most limits self-imposed.
He reminds us play is serious work, and curiosity is the only map you need when the old maps run out. Remember his line? Your detours are your destiny. Embrace them.
Love that. Okay, so a challenge for you listening this week. Try one technique, just one. Notice when you feel stuck. Ask, is there another way to frame this completely?
Treat a mistake not as an error, but as an invitation. What's it inviting you to explore? Or try random entry. Seriously. Open a book, point blindly, pick a word, force your brain to connect it to a problem you're chewing on. See what happens.
Or pick one provocation a day. Something silly like, Poe, dogs should vote. Brainstorm around it for 5 minutes, see where it goes. Reward the bad ideas in your next brainstorm. And next time you catch yourself digging that same mental hole, just consciously do something different, something you'd normally rule out.
Dare to think differently. Dare to live differently.
So here's a final thought to leave you with, extending that idea. What if the mistakes you're actively avoiding today, what if they're actually the hidden doorways to your next breakthrough?
Yeah, think about that. See routines not as fixed paths you have to follow, but maybe more like mazes, right for playful exploration.
Until next time, keep digging sideways.